Infantry 3v3 Typhon Arena blue team. We have two Eldar Farseers. First up we have Darks. This is all the way DLC. And alongside Sneakus Peekus, these ladies are support commanders that fight melee. Decent mobility with fleet, can also support really well. Lots of buffs for their troops. Alongside is Boris. Where's he gone? There he is, as a Warboss melee commander, walks through cover. Good support, disruption and offense from the front lines. Red team, Commissar Yarrick is an Inquisitor offensive commander, fights melee to start off, can get ranged weapons, lots and lots of crowd control. Alongside is Floid, playing a Chaos Lord, durable and destructive commander, fights melee, walks through cover, cannot be suppressed, good offense and disruption. And Legendary, also known as Legion of One, plays a Plague Champion to round out red team. Starts off range combat, can get melee weapons, good damage potential and utility, can build turrets and repair. Not the best mobility ever though. Triple Heretics from Legendary. Melee units start off as a melee counter with their Doom Blast, can be upgraded to have grenade launchers. Floid going for a more traditional Chaos Space Marines, out the gate heavy ranged infantry that are decent in melee. Triple Dire Avengers for both Darks and Sneakus Peekus. Sneakus Peekus not fancying Banshees up against what would have been at least double Heretics at the bottom, but what is actually 4 Heretic squads. We see some Corn Worship from Floid to get his Chaos Lord into the fight quicker, boosting speed as well as the benefits to demons that all worship has. Legendary calling for a push, and here come his triple Heretics, Doom Blast and Retreat, chaining it, I would think. Chaos Lord also in there. We might see the Combi Flamer from him against Orks and Eldar. Legendary retreats his Heretics, job done, has dispersed blue team, pushed some squads off as well. And Floyd still pushing with his Heretics, who have an aspiring champion now, makes them a pretty nasty melee unit in their own right, as well as a very, very powerful melee counter in tier 1. Farseer of Sneakus Peekus chasing Chaos Space Marines. Meanwhile at the top, Commissar Yarrick has completely pushed off Darks, who is now getting a Shuriken Cannon. Multi-last turret goes up covering this VP. This is the natural for blue team in the east, red team have a natural in the north, and red team have taken bottom. Sneakus Peekus, special attack from his Farseer. Does she get away? Looks like she does. Yes. Floyd preserving all of his Chaos Space Marine models. Doesn't want to push there though. Needs to retreat them. But they're going to lose a model very, very quickly. Might lose one now if these Dire Avengers and Shooters keep chasing. And we see double Chaos Space Marines from Floyd, and he did lose a model that could have been avoided. Just retreat them a bit quicker. Looters on the field for Boris. A lot better in elite. Suppress much quicker. Bit more damage and such. 434, 498 is a triple cap for red. Look at the map control. Floyd bringing his second Chaos Space Marine squads to look at this power, but sees a bunch of greenskins and backs off. Rangers on the field for Sneakus Peekus, sniper infantry, long range fire support, getting shots off on the Plague Champion there, can also disrupt with kinetic shot. And here comes the Warboss. Ordinarily you might expect to see the Bang Bang Hammer versus double Chaos Space Marines, but it's not a power weapon in Elite. It's more of a support weapon. The buff radius on hit was increased. Chaos Lord is going to go down in retreat surely, yes, but I think the Warboss will also go down, caught by these Heretics, and down he goes. We might see Sneakus Peekus revive immediately, and we do. Sneakus Peekus has gone for Doombringer Ghost Helm combo, which can be nasty if you use Doom on a unit and then use Mind War, which he's done to those Chaos Space Marines there. You see the damage it does when you chain those skills together, and they are forced off. 375, 498 Rangers trying to get shots on this heavy bolter turret that's been put up by the Plague Champion. As you can see, it's behind this raised platform, but can still shoot through it. Darks pushing back at the top, has a Shuriken. Triple Dire Avengers, Farseer with Spirit Stones, not getting Howling Banshees up against a Sentinel, and we have an artillery spotter squad on the field for Yarrick, tier 1 artillery, great disruption, can put out some decent damage as well, can be upgraded in tier 2 with incendiary shells and tier 3 with a heavy mortar. 352 498 cost 280 30 sorry to purchase those guys. They do bleed you quite badly if you lose models. Raptors on the field for legendary, triple heretics into raptors, jump troops that suppress when they land. Not quite as tough as assault marines, but still a very useful unit, especially against double shooters and triple dire avengers and those looters. Plague champion leading the lines. Disruptive grenade launchers going in. He's got double grenade launcher heretics. Raptors jumping in, forcing off shooters. Warboss also backing off, has boss pole, and look at this enhanced custom shooter on the Warboss. This must be the least seen commander weapon in the entire game. It's actually a pretty nice range weapon, but Warboss just seems built for melee, so very few players get it. He has the stomp and such. It's a great range weapon though, decent DPS, and can disrupt really well with shoot 'em good. We'll see how it goes with it. 312 498. Darks might cap both of these VPs. Where are the spotters? Here they are. Might see them call in a shell. There we see it, disrupting the cap. Does 50 damage to start off. That does fall away from the center of the blast, much like a grenade. And look at this, in this incendiary shells is queued up for tier 2. Boost the damage of the mortar shell to 75, also gives them an incendiary damage of a time shell. And look at this, using the smoke shell now, reducing the range of these dire avengers. Excellently done by Commissar Yarrick, allowing his Inquisitor to get into melee, but she's in trouble here. Farseer might be able to finish her off, can't quite do it. We have double energy shields, and artillery spotter squad need to retreat. There they go, didn't lose a model. 297 498. Blue team unable to deal with this turret at the moment. Sneakus Peekus, I think, trying to come around the back of it. Dark sending his Guardian weapon team with Shuriken Cannon to defend this VP. Farseer is going to try and cat. Double Guardsmen are not going to do it here against double Dire Avengers behind shields, especially now with another Guardian squad. Sorry, Dire Avenger squad. Keep pulling them Guardians, and a Shuriken now set up there. 297 492, 2-to-1 cap for blue team. Storm Boys on the field for Boris. Could be supported by the Warboss's global buffs, Ard Boys, and use your choppers. Power melee jump squad, very dangerous versus heavy armor. Floid has some havocs. Start off with a heavy bolter setup team. Suppress very well with it as well. Better than Devastators can suppress. And there's an artillery. No, it's the smoke. And there's the shell. As you can see, they do not share the same cooldown, the smoke shell and the mortar shell, but the incendiary shells do share a cooldown with the mortar shell, I believe. And that was a very nasty Let the Galaxy Burn from the Chaos Lord. Must have killed about 5 or 6 models there. Dire Avengers retreating for Sneakus Peekus. Has the aspect on both squads, and more Dire Avengers on the way. Sneakus Peekus also has some Howling Banshees, perhaps recognizing the grenade launchers on most of the heretics, but Legendary is getting an aspiring champion for these guys, and Floid still has aspiring champion heretics, so I'm not sure how well these Howling Banshees are going to do. Back up to 5 members also have their aspect. Wraithguard on the way for Darks. It's all kicking off over here. Artillery spotters getting a bit too close, and that's going to be a very good strike on those double Dire Avengers. It's a smoke grenade, in fact, reducing their range to 0, and Darks is staying in that smoke. Now moving off, and is a Bane Wolf drop by Commissar Yarrick. Don't see this thing all that often. It's quite a nice vehicle though, amazing at taking out generators. Also debuffs speed of infantry that it hits, as you can see there. Can discharge something. Shuriken Cannon. Is it going to back off? We might see this thing upgrade to a Bright Lance. Nope. Setting back up again. Needs to be very careful. And there's a big mortar shell going in. Ouch. 2-to-1 cap for blue, but Dark's forced off the top. And he might lose that Shuriken. No, but he does lose some Dire Avengers there. Raptors do have their aspiring champion who gets Lightning Claw. Where is he at? He's over there.
The enemy is claiming a victory point.
Warboss, with that enhanced custom shooter, is waiting for some support to push. Still, that turret is there. 297401 Weird Boy on the field for Boris. Also has some stick bombers, so he's got quite a versatile army here. Storm Boys, stick bombers, and a Weird Boy, and looters, of course. Red team pushing against Blue's power. Floid has double Mark of Khorne, Chaos Space Marines, pretty nasty power melee unit that are good versus other melee units. 294401 Howling Banshees backing off, suppressed by the Havoc. In turn, disrupted by the Weird Boy, has bigger brains. Stick bombs. Ouch. Hurting their allied Howling Banshees there. Raptors jumping in. Stick bombers going into melee with the Raptors. Now caught by Howling Banshees. And Howling Banshees are very, very good versus Raptors. Is he going to lose this squad? Very, very nearly does. Gets away with a single model. Havoc's backed off by Floid. Nicely done. Set up again to suppress that Warboss. Suppression, a very good tool to use against the Warboss, but he's thrown in by the Weird Boy. Can he get into melee? He cannot get into melee. Got right next to the Heavy Bolter and was taken out at close range. Heavy Bolter's doing more damage the closer you get. Really, really hurt the Warboss there. 263401. We have a Shrine of Khorne put up by Floid. Spits out blood letters every now and then. Meanwhile, top, this Bane Wolf has done pretty well for Yarrick, it seems. Wraith Guard here. Incendiary Shell pulled down. Wraith Guard short range artillery in it. Huge AoE damage to all targets. Also suppressed infantry. Big smoke grenade again dropped by the spotters. Great usage of that ability in this game by Yarrick, and Darks is not reacting to it well. He's not getting out of the smoke. Loses his Shuriken. Autarch being dropped on this blob. Her grenades now stunned, but they can't stun retreating units. Did a fair amount of damage still. Autarch now jumping back, which gives off an AoE heal. Farseer going up against this Bane Wolf. She doesn't have her Singing Spear though, so it's not doing a terrible amount of damage to it. Ogryn is now on the field for Yarrick, and Darks might struggle against this. Ogryn's be very good getting in amongst his Wraith Guard, which are very poor in melee. Dark Reapers on the field for Darks. Long range plasma guns on those guys. Well, long range plasma damage. They're actually Eldar rapid firing missile launchers. 216401. And Warboss trying to defend power. Chaos Lord is decapping for Floid. Armor of the Inferno level 3. Inquisitor level 3. She has her Inferno pistol and her mandate. Plague Champion level 3 and down. Level 2 Farseer for Darks. Sneakus Peekus level 4 with that Doombringer and that Ghost Helm. Warboss level 2 now has Cyborg implants, and there's his big stomp disrupting those double Chaos Space Marine Mark of Khorne guys. A very good choice against a melee blob is Cyborg implants. Big disruption and a decent damage as well. Now going after these heretics. Needs to be very careful though, this Warboss. They're going to turn on him. Cyborg implants big stomp on cooldown, and down he goes. Stick bombs thrown in by the stick bombers, and now they back off. 195400. Commissar Yarrick now pushing Blue team's natural in the east, and he's going to cap it, I think. Ogryns have their bonehead leader, allows them to disrupt with Use Your Red. Chaos Dreadnought on the field for Legendary with its default autocannon. Good damage to all targets, small AoE. Takes down these generators. Blue team never really able to deal with that turret. Very surprised we didn't see Wraith Guard from Sneakus Peekus, though I suppose he is up against double Mark of Khorne CSM. 195373, a 1-to-1 cat. Weird Boy level 1. Chaos Lord in retreat there, and this is an uncapped VP. We have the Bile Spear for the Plague Champion, recently got a range nerf. We'll see how it fares here against these Howling Banshees. Autarch jumping in to the turret. This is a big push for the turret now. Raptors here to defend, as is this Chaos Dreadnought. Executioner Spear trying to take out the turret. Needs to be very careful. He's going to lose this autarch, I think. Turret now being double repaired. And survives. Bile Spear giving a really nice speed and damage debuff of 15%. Still a very nice piece of wargear. 152373, a double cap for red team. They've been so strong at the bottom, and Yarrick pushing hard against Darks. Ouch, Wraithguard exploding, about 5 or 6 guardsmen there. These guys have their Commissar leaders, so they will reinforce 3 at a time. And here come artillery spotters. He's done really well with these guys. They are almost level 3. Banewolf pushing, as are the Ogrins. Banewolf just running over those energy shields. And there's a shell coming in. No, that's a Hell Fury Strike. That's a global ability of the Inquisitor. But Dark survives. Here comes the Inquisitor. What is she up to? She's putting Judgment on that Wraithguard. Really powerful ability given to you by the Inferno Pistol. Looks like Darks will hold his VP. 136373. Turret still going. Can be upgraded to a las cannon turret in tier 2. We have a Marcos Zinch Chaos Dreadnought. Raptors jumping in here up against Stormboys and Banshees, though that's not a very good fight for them. And they retreat, losing models as they do so. Grenades in retreat path, nicely done by Sneakus Peekus, almost wiping the squad. But quick thinking by Legendary. Frenzied barrage from the Marcos Zinch Chaos Dreadnought, suppressing those guys. Here comes Floid with his very, very nasty melee army, Bloodletters and double Mark of Khorne CSM, fully upgraded with Aspiring Champions and Eternal War. Really nice disruption and stun from the Weird Boy there, Warp Vomit. Stormboys in amongst it, need some support, maybe Ard Boys and user choppers would be a good place to use it. There is Ard Boys. Unlike in retail, protects them against all types of damage, not just melee. 25% damage reduction, I think. 136355. Some Khorne worship here. Floyd's used worship quite well, I think. And these beamy death gun looters forced off. Look at this though. Seer Council on the field for Sneakus Peekus. Power melee unit that leap into combat. Really, really cool. Not sure if they were cooled down or purchased. I assume they were called in. Sneakus Peekus does have a fair amount of red still. Look at him absolutely disrupting the crap out of these Bloodletters. That is time filled. Sneakus Peekus using that Armor of the Assyrian. Not sure why he used that. Prevented his Seer Council from attacking those Bloodletters. Now going after the Play Champion. Nope. Now going after the Chaos Lord. Chaos Lord though has Lightning Claws. Nasty power weapon with a 100 DPS. And down goes the Farseer, taken out by those Lightning Claws. Sync kill gruesomely thrown aside. Look at that. Shoot him good. Disrupting the crap out of the Plague Champion. Cannot do anything. Needs to back off. Fetid armor and Icon of Nurgle for him. Warboss will now revive the Farseer. Will level him to 4 at the top. Guardsmen leveling up. Spotters almost level 4. And they have the heavy mortar cannon, taking them to 110 damage on their mortar shell. 136305. 2-to-1 cap for Darks. Darks. 2-to-1 cap for blue. Sorry, Darks has lost a lot of stuff. Wow, only has Dire Avengers. Ogren's backing off. Looking very, very dire for blue team. They do have a 2-to-1, but quite a large VP deficit, and now Darks is in big trouble. Goes tier 3, has enough to drop an Eldritch Storm when he gets there, which could be vital. Raptors jumping in. They have their melter guns now. Turns them into a really nice jump troop for taking out vehicles quickly. Don't want to jump into a bunch of greenskins though. Here comes Floyd's melee army. 135291 backing off now. Plague Champion level 5. Chaos Lord level 5 now has Icon of Khorne. Inquisitor level 5. Farseer of Darks is level 3 and down. Farseer of Sneakus Peekus level 6. And Warboss level 4. Here we see Time Field allowing these Dire Avengers to pour fire in, but it's not enough firepower. Rangers also in there. There's disruption from the Weird Boy. Blue team doing their best to try and deal with this melee blob. Need some suppression on the field, I think. Grenades getting chucked in all over the place by Sneakus Peekus. Beautifully done. There's a Hell Fury Strike. Ouch, that was painful for Floid. Hell Fury Strike though. Really, really nicely done by Yarrick, forcing off that blue ranged blob. And that was vital. If he didn't drop that Hell Fury Strike, blue team would have pushed against the Chaos Dreadnought and the Chaos Lord. Storm Boys caught in retreat by the Chaos Lord, who slaughters them quickly. Almost level 7, this guy is starting to beast. Darks now has Seer Council on the field. Has used his red to get them, so now cannot drop an Eldritch Storm and retreats them out of there. Ogrins with their heavy melee damage, smacking stuff with those Ripper guns. And power gets wiped out. Is looking very bad for blue team. 75-291, a double cap for red. Baneblade on the way for Commissar Yarrick. Don't think we'll even see it. A triple cap now. Level 2 Chaos Dreadnought. Preserved all of his heretic squads, this legendary.
The enemy has destroyed an ally structure.
And red team now pushing against blue's base. Inquisitor being very cheeky, getting very close, has judgment up on something, not sure what it is, but down she goes anyway. Sneakus Peekus now disrupting those Ogrins. That is Mind War, but they are in retreat and shouldn't lose a model, I don't think. 17-291. Look how strong red team are at the bottom. Floid reinforcing his Chaos Space Marines. They don't have their aspiring champions though. And Chaos Terminators hitting the field at the end of the game for Legendary, but there is the VP counter reaching 0. Red team's so strong at the bottom. Blue team never really able to push against that turret. It did go down in the end. Darks having a couple of very bad engagements top and could not hold it. Spotters doing really well in this game, very near to level 4. Thanks for watching guys, I'll see you next time.